What is going on, everybody? How are we all doing? And welcome back today to another instalment of our Blackburn Rovers career mode road to glory, where today we have got another 4 games for you, kicking things off with our tie in the FA Cup, a game that I was originally going to simulate, but someone in the comment section made a good point saying, you know what, FA Cup, traditional tournament in England, we could go on and be giant killers, so I'm going to be playing this one. If you want me to play other FA Cup games, or if you'd rather me sim them to, you know, concentrate on the league more, let me know in the comment section down below. And also, we're going to be hitting up the transfer markets, the transfer window I should say, in the next episode. We're in December right now. Next episode I think we're going to be in the January transfer window, so if you've got any suggestions for signings, let me know down below. And of course, as always, if you do enjoy the episode, leave a big thumbs up. But a few of you guys have already left some transfer suggestions, so I'm going to show you those in the transfer hub. A lot of these, of course, are from earlier on at the very start of the save. We recently had Angel Gomez and Junior Hoylett suggested. Hoylett in particular I was very, very keen on. We've also now had Adra, he was last episode as well, but Ronaldo, the era of Leeds, is someone that a couple of you guys have recommended. Ik-Piezu, a player that apparently will be very solid for us in the Championship if we were to get promoted, which is looking good right now. Adagabenro, again I'm probably pronouncing that horribly wrong, and also Tom Davies of Everton, who I think would be a very good signing long term if we could get him in. Of course, a player with a ton of potential, doing well to get into the Everton team. Well, I say he's doing well, Everton aren't doing great either, but he's getting into the Everton team quite regularly right now. But yeah, we've got 4 games today. We're going to be kicking things off with that FA Cup tie against Bradford. We've then got Peterborough away from home, Charlton at home, and then an away tie against Northampton. A nice week break in between every single game as well, so we should be able to play our first preferred 11 in every single game, hopefully. But without any further ado, I suppose we better get into this Bradford game, where I think we're going to play our strongest 11 because we have got that week break until the next game. Here we go then, guys. It's our first game of today's episode. It's the Emirates FA Cup. We are at home against Bradford, a team, of course, that I believe beat us in the league. It was our first defeat of the season, so we're out for a little bit of revenge today. I did mention just we're probably going to be playing our strongest 11. I have made a couple of changes. You'll see those in just a second when we look at the lineups, but it's going to be interesting to see if Bradford are playing their strongest 11 as well. Let's find out, shall we? So here is our lineup for today's game. Like I said, we've made a couple of changes. Paul Cadiz remains in right back in place of Nyamba, who picked up that small knock recently. We've then got Louis Dack coming into central midfield because he's been in quite good form. And we've basically pushed Bennett out to the left-hand side. He normally plays on the right. And brought in Loney from Arsenal. I've forgotten his name. Nelson in place of Tabla. We got there eventually. So they're the only changes we've made. The rest of the team remains what I would consider our strongest 11. Let's take a look at the Bradford City lineup. I'm pretty sure this is their strongest 11. A lot of these players look familiar from when we played them the first time round. I know Dominic Polion caused us all sorts of problems in our league meeting, so we definitely need to keep an eye on him. But yeah, let's get into the game, and hopefully get a little bit of revenge. It's dark. There's a bit of movement there. There's a lot of space down the bottom here. We're going to drill this with Nelson. And that should have been a goal, really, from the youngster. He's a loanee from Arsenal, like I mentioned at the start. You all know this. It's a great chance. Hits it across keeper well. Oh, it's just always rising, isn't it? First chance of the game. It's a good one, and we're still very early doors here. We go down this side here, Cadiz. Nelson has seen a lot of the ball early doors. I think Samuel's offside here. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, he's done really well as well. I thought he might have been just offside. Nelson's get it in there. What a ball that is! And that is a magnificent opening goal in this fixture. It's Elliot Bennett, I believe, who's coming in from that left-hand side. Normally play him on the right, of course, but it's just a fantastic move. I initially thought that Dominic Samuel was offside for the ball we played with Nelson, but it was a lovely little give and go. Nelson's back heel was absolutely delightful. Beautiful cross across the 6-yard box as well. The keeper didn't want to come out. It was just in that zone of uncertainty. And Bennett comes in off the wing to slam it in. I thought he might have missed it first because he caught it on the full volley. It was always rising, but it went into the roof of the net. And that is a magnificent goal. Get their keeper. Ray has done really well there, actually. But under a bit of pressure, we've not cleared it yet. It's Law on the ball for Bradford. We've let him drop inside far too easily there. He's got a chance to... Oh, he didn't pull the trigger, thankfully. It's going to fall kindly for Raya again. Need to be careful, it's Polion. Oh, that was not far off. That man is definitely the danger man for Bradford. Polion's got away a bit there. Spreads it down the bottom. It's a good first time ball as well. We could be in trouble. Good save, Raya. Hooked off the line. Oh, we should have cleared it better. And right at the start of the second half, Bradford peg us back to 1-1. I actually thought we'd done really well initially to clear it off the line, but I didn't clear it, did I? I should have pressed B. I pressed A and passed it straight back to the Bradford man, who taps in, and right at the start of the second half. That's really frustrating because Ray did really well initially. Oh, I feel we're a bit unlucky there, but it's also my fault for not clearing it properly. Need to be careful. We dominated this game, but we find ourselves level. We can't go behind. This falls to Chapman. It wasn't the best first touch. I'm looking for the breakaway here. Still could be on, hopefully. Plays it into the middle to Dak. Got a good runner here in Antonsen. Antonsen's first touch is fantastic as well. It's really taken him into the space. It should be 2-1. Antonsen! He finishes the chance, makes it 2-1. I actually thought the counter-attack might have been killed off because Chapman's first touch wasn't the best. It really seemed to slow the move down initially, but thankfully his ball into the midfield was good. Recovered the move somewhat, recovered the possibility of a counter, but Antonsen's first touch is what made it. He really took it in his stride. Ends up going around the defender with absolute ease and finishes it on his weaker left foot. I'm pretty sure he's right-footed. I should know by now, should know really, but weaker left foot I'm pretty sure. Slams it past the keeper, and we retake the lead 2-1, and it's thoroughly, thoroughly deserved. Cadiz has played it inside, and it's ended up with Antonsen. There's lots of space for Chapman at the bottom. He's going for a first-time fake shot. What a touch that is! And Chapman has the chance. It's actually a very good save, and then very calmly defended. Doyle there, keeping Bradford in the tie. Nelson gets the ball back, and that should really be that. It is that. That is full time. Absolutely superb stuff. We come away with the 2-1 win against Bradford into the next round of the FA Cup and get ourselves a little bit of revenge over Bradford, who, like I said earlier, beat us for our first defeat of the league, I think it was, in this series. So, bit of revenge carried out there. You can see it from the stats on the screen. We, you know, Bradford had 6 shots, 5 on target, but I do think we were the much better team. We had 8 shots, 5 on target, and I think, yeah, we deserved that win very, very much so. Very thoroughly deserved win. So after that game, some bad news. Bradley Dack has picked up a broken toe injury, and he's going to be out for 2 months, which sucks. He's not a player that's featured as a first-team player much, but when he's come on, he's been impressive, and he had started to earn himself a few more starts, but that's going to knock him back a bit. 2-month injury, that sucks. So guys, after that injury to Bradley Dack, I'm going to make the decision to promote Xander Dupont into the senior team. He's currently only 53 rated, very, very low obviously, but 17 years old, he's got the potential to be a decent player for us, so we're going to promote him to the senior team. He's only going to be taking part as a bench player right now, but you might see the picture the first time during this injury spell for Bradley Dack, and, you know, if we can get him exposed in the first team, it can only be a good thing, can't it? Here we are then, guys, our second game of today's episode. We're returning to league action after that FA Cup success. We're playing against Peterborough away from home, and there have been a couple of changes made. You will have seen already that we've promoted Xander Dupont into the first team. He's taken his place on the bench for today's game, so he could see his first action in a Blackburn shirt. You can see Peterborough sitting in 10th. We are top of the league. Of course, I mentioned about Bradley Dack's injury, which is why I bought Dupont in, but also let's not forget that Harper is another player that's also out for like a couple of months. So right now, all our injuries are coming in the central midfield position, which is why I've had to promote him essentially. So you'll see we've actually made another central midfield change for today's game, which is quite interesting, as well as doing a cheeky little wing swap. But you'll see that in the teams, which will be on screen in just a second. So here's the Peterborough team. Is there anyone here that we're particularly recognising? There's a player called Carnu up front. You know, is he in relation to the other Carnu? I very much doubt it. They've got Marriott in there, who sort of rings a bell. Edwards, Forrester, Grant. No one there massively ringing a bell, but the fact that we're playing 3 at the back is something I think we can definitely take advantage of. You're going to see our lineup in just a second. The player that's been brought into central midfield, as you'll see, is Mr. Chapman, who's been having a very good run lately. I brought him off the bench in the last game where he did well in the last episode. He was performing very, very well as well. So we're going to bring him in the central midfield, partnering Smallwood, who've also just swapped the wingers round. Tabla for this game is on the right-hand side and Bennett on the left. They are very interchangeable, but we've never tried it before, so we're trying that in today's game. Niambe coming back in at right back after recovering from his injury, and the rest of the team looks very, very familiar. But Dupont could make his debut today, the first player we brought through the academy. That's quite exciting. Hopefully he can get on the pitch if he can do quite well. He's found Dominic Samuel as runners through the middle, and we found one of them. It's Antonsen. Can he get it in? It's a good save. Oh, Tabler couldn't quite get there at the far post either. Would have been a tap-in. Antonsen finds Samuel. Tabler's looking to make a run, but just wasn't quite there quickly enough, was he, Samuel, to make that pass. We're going to play it infield to Chapman. He's made a great overlapping run. Went for goal, maybe a little bit greedy, but he's in good form. Wasn't anywhere near that, to be honest. I don't think. It was nice to see the run from midfield, though. Keeper was a little bit worried. That's poor, though. That's even worse. Tabler finds Samuel, and we're going to crack it. Oh, Samuel has scored so many of those this season. That one not quite hitting the back of the net, but it didn't look far off. This is going to be a good angle from it. Just absolutely puts his foot through it. Oof, economy more than a foot wide. Very unlucky. I'm going to hesitate. Actually, I'm going to go to Samuel instead. He's going to drop the shoulder. He's got a bit of space. It's his left foot, but it does not matter. Dominic Samuel's the top scorer in the league, and that is exactly why. Weak foot. That's 2 in 2 games, by the way. Samuel this game with his left foot. Antonsen last game with his left foot. That was a cracking finish, though. Lovely little Cruyff turn on the edge of the box. Takes him just inside the penalty area, I think it was. And he smashes it across goal into the top bins. Keeper no chance. And we get a 1-0 lead that we thoroughly deserve, actually. We've had a few chances in this game that we haven't taken, but Samuel finally takes on here. Look at this lovely little Cruyff turn just inside the box. Wasn't top bins, really, but it wasn't far off. Keeper was never getting there. And we got the 1-0 lead that we deserve. Looking for options in the middle. We find one in Dominic Samuel, who's going to look for Antonsen. He's got lots of space down his left-hand side, but not a massive amount of options. We're going to look at that back stick. Tabler's going to get there, is he? Oh, not quite. It's some good defending, good tracking by the left midfielder. That's really well played by Smallwood. Great tackle. We've got lots of space down the bottom if we can find it. We can find it. It's Balu Tabla, and it's 2-0. That should be the 3 points in the bag. I think we're going to go a bit more defensive after scoring that goal because we don't want to put ourselves under too much pressure. You know, we don't want to leave ourselves too open. But what a goal that is. I mean, Smallwood's won it back in a fantastic area of the pitch. It's a lovely ball to Tabla, but my God, he's done well to take that chance there. It wasn't an easy chance, but he absolutely slams it into the top bins. We really did quite well to notice the space, I felt like, and look at that for a finish. Top bins, 2-0. That should be game over. And with that goal, we are going to make our first change of the game, and it's Xander Dupont, the Belgian giant, coming onto the pitch for his first appearance in a Blackburn shirt. He's a CDM. We brought him on for Chapman just to shore up the midfield a little bit. Hopefully, that can help us see out this game. Win that header, win that header. It's fell nicely. Oh my God, it's 2-1, and I think that is a back heel that's gone through the goalkeeper's legs. Let's take a look at this on the replay. That was audacious. I don't know how that's gone in. Reyes should be doing a lot better there. Was it a back heel? Let's have a look here. So it comes in really deep to the back stick. Bit of a scramble. Oh my Lord, it's a back heel nutmeg from Peterborough, and it's 2-1. Game on again. What a cheeky, bloody finish that is. It's Dupont who's got it and played it off nicely. Finds Bennett. But there's been an injury. It's going to be pulled back, and it's one for us as well, unfortunately. Who's this that's gone down? We've already had... in this episode, we've had Bradley Dack picked up the injury. In the last one, we also had Harper as well. We are being struck with a lot of injuries right now, and it's Smallwood that absolutely sucks. Thankfully, we have got a ready-made replacement in Ryerson to come off the bench, and I think we're also going to bring on Reece Nelson for Bennett for a bit more pace in the counter-attack for these last 10-12 minutes as well. 90th minute, we just need the ref to blow his whistle. Applied it towards that back stick area, the top of the pitch with the switch. Now bringing it forward. Thankfully the ref blows his whistle. We don't have to survive another attack. I'll tell you what, that game was a lot closer than it ever should have been, really. We dominated that game. But as soon as they got that goal back, obviously that changed the complexion of it completely. You can see they had 6 shots, 1 on target. We had 6-3 on target. Ended up being a very close game. But thankfully, we come away with the 3 points. Another injury, this time to Smallwood, which sucks because he's been a really good performer for us this season. But Dupont coming on, he looked solid. And that's another midfielder injured. So we may need to call upon him a lot more than perhaps thought we would have to when we brought him in. So guys, welcome to the second half of today's Blackburn Rovers episode. I am now recording this the following day, as you can probably tell by the change of clothes and everything. But one thing I forgot to mention in the first half, after we decided to give Dupont his debut, is that if you want to decide what he wears, his kit number, all that kind of stuff, put that in the comment section down below. You can decide his boots, whether he has tape on his wrists and arms, his kit bit, his number, all that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think it should be, and your comment will be featured on the next episode, as well as, of course, we'll actually, you know, do what you want, essentially. But I'll leave him as he is for now. He's currently number 18. You know, 6'5", bit of a beast. Hopefully he can do really well for us in the future. We also had the news that Smallwood is going to be out for 8 weeks, which absolutely sucks. I can't remember if we covered that in the last part, but yeah, out for 8 weeks, which is terrible. So if anything, Dupont is going to be playing more football. And also, we're not on track. They wanted us to spread to improve our brand management by signing one crucial first-team player assigned to a forward position, which we may well do in January, because I think we're going to sell Danny Graham and potentially bring someone in his place. But let's move on now to the third game of today's episode. We've got Charlton in a couple of days' time. Hopefully we can make it another 3 points. Here we are then, guys. Third game of today's episode. We're playing against Charlton. We're playing the strongest 11 as we possibly can, of course, back in action in the league again. But Injuries are restricting us. You can see Charlton doing quite well as well, sitting in 6th place, but currently we hold a 10-point lead going into our 22nd game in the season, which is absolutely fantastic. We're not too far now, just 3 games away from the halfway mark, so very, very good first half of the season, really. Hopefully we can just keep on going and going and going. It's going to be interesting to see where we can get in the cup as well. I've not quite had a chance to check if the next round has been drawn. We'll have a look at this. Have a look at that. Sorry, after this game, and see what the situation is. But you can see we're the best defensive team in the league. But Charlton aren't far off either in 5th place. Conceded 5 more goals than us. So 2 very solid teams at the back. But we are of course very good going forward as well. So hopefully we can cut through Charlton today. Well in. Antonsen, what can we do here? He's probably going to have to go alone, Antonsen. He's got men with him now, though, especially at the back stick. Oh, is it a penalty? It is a penalty! And I've just been... What? What on earth has happened there? So, guys, I'm having to completely reload the game. I don't know what happened here. It just kicked me off. I had a message saying, do you own this game? Blah, blah, blah. Loaded it up and it's working fine straight away, but I think what I'm going to do is just simulate that Charlton game, because I don't know if I'm going to have time to edit this and record that all again, basically. So we're going to skip forward to the Charlton game again. Once this is all reloaded back up, that was bizarre. Here you can see it's going to just, well, it's not reloaded as in the game, has it? So we'll reload the game, we'll sim that one, and then we'll move on to the last game of the episode. But that is bizarre. That actually happened to me on last year's career mode as well, in the Man City one. When I was playing against Liverpool, it just kicked me off like that, and it was strange. That's the 2nd time that's happened to me on FIFA now. Single player, just kicking me off. That is ridiculous. So here we are then. We're at the game. We're playing against Charlton again. You know, we got about half an hour in, I think it was, but rather than starting all up and doing it again, I'm just going to simulate the game just to save myself a bit of time, to be honest, because otherwise this video is going to be super late, because I'm actually playing this right now, Friday night. You're going to be seeing this Friday night. You can see we've taken the lead. Dominic Samuel, that's fantastic. We've still got about 40 minutes left to play though. Can we hold on? Dominic Samuel's goal still the difference. 20 minutes left to go. Still 1-0. Is it going to end 1-0? 10 minutes to go. Hold on. Don't concede. Don't concede. Don't concede. We've held on. 1-0 win. Fantastic stuff. Before we go into the final game of today's episode, we've had scout reports back on all these players that you guys have suggested. Starting off with Samuel Edingborough. I'm probably butchering that. You can see 72 rated, valued at £4 million. That's a lot of money, but he does look very, very good. So he's someone to definitely keep an eye on. Another one of the players is Tom Davies, someone that, of course, we all know a lot about. Premier League player, 74 rated, valued at £8 million. These players might be a bit too expensive for us right now, I've got to be honest. But you never know long term. These are players that are still young, could definitely be good. Is EP.9, valued at 875k. That's a bit more realistic. Rated 66. He's actually not quite as good as the players who've got in our team right now. I think Antonsen and Dominic Samuel are 69 rated, but he's not bad looking, and for the fee and his age as well, you know, that's not too bad at all. That's got to be said. And then finally, Ronaldo Vieira. I know this guy's got a lot of potential. He's currently rated 71, only 19 years on. To be fair, 3.2 million is not much of a fee for someone that young, that good, with that much potential. So he's someone that, you know, maybe at the end of the season, he's someone we could definitely look to bring in, because he has got some incredible stats for the ages. Here we go then, guys. This is going to be the final game of today's episode after the technical difficulties of the last one. Hopefully we can just get through this one. That would be nice. So playing away from home against Northampton, a ever so slightly changed lineup for this one. Bennett coming back in on that right-hand side in place of Nelson. We're top of the league. Northampton is 17th. I feel like this should be a win, obviously, but I feel like it's a game where we can stop blooding some of our younger players. So I've actually decided to play for the first time our youngest possible 2 midfielders in the centre of the park, and they are Mr. Chapman alongside DuPont. Now, obviously, they're not the best rated for that position. We have got better, but I want them to do well. I want them to grow, and I want them to get better. So the best thing to do that is to play them a lot. So in games like this, I'm going to take the risk and play them. I mean, Chapman's a good player anyway, and he has been playing well, but DuPont's only like 53, 54 rated, but hopefully he can do a job. He's done well whenever he's played, so hopefully he can keep that going. Northampton's team, I do recognise Ravel up front as a player that rings a bell. Dean Bowditch on that right-hand side, I think, used to play for Ipswich as well. But other than that, no one that's massively ringing any bells, I've got to say. But you're going to see our lineup in just a second. The rest of the team stays exactly the same, apart from what I've just mentioned. So Chapman and DuPont start in the centre of the park. The defence and goalkeeper is going to remain exactly the same. Raya Niamba at right back, Mulgrew and Lenihan centre back with Williams left back. You can see it coming up now. We've got Bennett getting back in the team on that right hand side. Chapman, DuPont, Tabler on the left, Anderson and Samuel leading the line. Let's win the let's win the game, and get the 3 points. Even though he's not got the best rating, I do want to play him more to try and get his rating up. So, yeah, fingers crossed he can do well. Oh, wow. Who considers a penalty? Within what? 5 minutes has just gone past the clock. I think that's Tabler at the back stick, I want to say. What even happened there? I didn't even press tackle. Is it Tabler? Oh, that is soft. That is soft. Can we serve the penalty? Can we restore some justice? That is harsh if we go behind here. We're going to go right. Oh, we don't even need to dive. He's blazed it wide. That is justice. I mean, Samuel, of course, the only goal scorer in that match that we ended up simulating, and he's got a chance again here. Is this going to be 1-0? Samuel, what a finisher. That is so good in front of goal. It's the first major chance we've had in this fixture so far. But the way he adjusts his body to turn to finish on his stronger right foot, I think that's what he did anyway. That's how it looked. It's absolutely sublime. Whatever he did, it was great because it worked. But 1-0 after 24 minutes. It's the only real chance we've had, to be completely honest. Northampton have been the better team. They've certainly had the better chances because of that penalty. But really, it's been a game of nothing. You can see he holds off the defender. Look at that, the way he just turns to shape onto his right foot and slots it in. Absolutely beautiful from Samuel. And that's his 17th goal in League One. And we're almost at the halfway point. That is astounding form. It's a nice move by them. It's a very nice move. They've hit the post. They've got away with that. One of the nicer moves of the game. And Northampton are very unlucky not to score it, really. And they're coming forward again here. Some early pressure at the start of the second half. It's a good save by Raya. And all of a sudden, we've got our backs to the wall. Can we get rid? We can, it looks like. Bennett picks out Chapman. Can we get anything going on the counter-attack? Can we make them? Can we punish them for not taking the chances? It's Chapman still. And I'm looking at the run of Antonsen. Oh, I didn't mean to go at the top. It'll do, though. It'll do. Tabler will get there comfortably. He's got the ball in there. It's a great cross as well. And it's a end-to-end start to the second half. Finds Antonsen. Now we've got the runner of Tabler. Come on, this is a chance. We're going to drill it in across the floor. Great pull. Oh, it's off the post. Oh, look at the spin on the ball there. The camera's just gone off. Apologies for that. I'll quickly get that back on. But the spin on the ball there, absolutely outrageous. I thought it was going to hit the post and come out as Samuel absolutely beats the crop out of the corner flag. It's a great ball from Tabler. Look at this. Plays it in there, slides at it, hits the post. I thought it was coming out, and then the spin of the ball just about takes it in. That is absolutely awesome. 2-0. That should be game over. And I think we're going to bring off Chapman now as well because he's on a booking. Bring on Rice and shore this up and make sure we get the 3 points. Samuel well flicked on. Tons of room at the top here for Tabler. It's going to be the last action of the game. Can we make it 3-0 with the last attack? We'll go for a driven. He doesn't get over it at all, does he? He blasts it over the bar, but it doesn't matter. We're coming away from Northampton with the 2-0 win. Northampton will be kicking themselves because the first chance they had, I mean, they had some good moves, but the first one was the best one. A penalty absolutely blazed wide. Other than that, we really were in control for the game because it's relatively close, but 2-0 to us, more clinical, another 3 points, and we are looking pretty in the league as we approach the halfway point in the season. So you can see we're just one game shy of the halfway point of the season, and the lead's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now 12 points clear of Oxford in second place. If we don't get promoted from this position, it would be an absolute travesty. We've had a message from Paul Caddy saying he's not very happy about his play time. I don't blame him, to be honest. He's not played much at all. It's been all Niamba, the player that's much younger, developing well, so he's not seen much of the pitch at all. Development-wise, we'll do this quickly while we end off the episode. Xander DuPont is in there twice. We normally have people like Harper in there, but because they're injured, we're not quite been able to. Is anyone going to go up in this one? They are, actually. It's going to be Tabler, who's going to hit that 70 rating. We haven't got many of those in our club right now. I think there's Mulgrew. Mulgrew might be the only 70 rated player plus in our team right now, other than Tabler, who's just hit it, obviously. Let's have a quick look as we end the episode. So you got Tabler. Yeah. There are only 2 players 70 rated or better. Oh no, and Williams at left back as well. So the left back, the left mid, and Mulgrew all over 70. But regardless, that is going to end off this episode. If you did enjoy it, leave a big thumbs up like I mentioned at the start. And don't forget to leave your suggestions for what kit stuff DuPont should be wearing. Apologies for that third game. Don't know what happened in that one. Very, very strange. But regardless, still doing really well. Still loving the series, and I hope you guys are too. I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Nidge out.